waiting for Ariella to pick up. For some reason she went. Let me try it again.
Hello?
Hi Ariella, how are you?
Hello, good. Nice to hear you. How are you?
Okay, great. Thanks for your time today and joining us. I guess.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. I told everyone you're with Nordea. How are things going at the company with the Baton Death March in the FX industry?
Yeah, well, things are, going, well, it's getting tougher and tougher. It's after the crisis, I think, banks, just as all other companies, have moved toward, optimization, cost saving, trying to squeeze themselves to the very bone, and but we love challenges, so I think there is always a silver lining in
Yes, you
what
have
is
to love
happening around.
you have to love challenges to be a trader because we have them every day, several times a day. And I'm glad I'm talking to you today. I'm interested if you can share your screen with us. Do you remember how to do that? You go down to the plus sign on the Skype box and share screens. And
I won't be able probably to share the screen right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. The question that a lot of Euro traders are asking, we had that initial 1,000 pip rally from 104 to 114. We pulled back quite dramatically in a week and a half. Which camp are you in, that the Euro digs in its heels and puts in a higher low to extend the bounce that we had a month or so ago? Or are the parity bears going to have their way this time?
Well, I'm in the camp that the euro will seal a higher low. At least for myself, I have put this to 10650 level, which still is the uptrend from March lows. And I think if that level holds 10650, and I actually think we will even have support at a higher level. For example, right now we have seen the euro dollar bounce from 108.20, which is also a very important level or resistance level of April and March. So I think that there's a decent chance that even 108 could hold, and we will resume the move up.
Yeah. I believe we approach some type of fib level around the 108, maybe 61.8 back or so.
Yeah.
10 handle move, 6 handle pullback, right?
Exactly.
So let me ask you this: do you think that if the dollar begins to head down again against the euro, that the euro will outperform the pound because the pound
yes, because of this correlation we have seen so far. Basically, people are seeing pound as a kind of as a dollar camp. Still, the Bank of England and the Fed, they are very similar in terms of thinking when to hike rates, and historically they've been very close, and the market pricing is also currently quite close within a quarter. So and for ECB it's like years away the first hike that is priced in. So in my eyes, when if the dollar weakens, then probably that also suggests the reason for pound to weaken versus the euro. Yes.
Okay, great. And the U.S. dollar yen is on fire. We've made new yearly highs by a couple hundred pips. I know some people that are looking for this to terminate here shortly, and that would probably tie in with the dollar not making new euro not making new lows against the dollar. Any view on U.S. dollar yen up here?
Yeah, exactly. What I wrote in my weekly piece Well, this week is that, just be careful about the breakout above 122. I think it could be a bull trap, and I still believe it could be actually. That that level is, if you look like multi-year, it's one of the key resistances here, and it is testing that level. I believe that if the dollar turns, I think that the yen will be one of the best currencies to buy, really. So I think that there is a decent chance that the dollar yen will reverse down.
Okay, and getting to the commodity complex, USD-CAD has been advancing, hasn't made new highs. In fact, got above the breakdown. I had the breakdown at about that 124 level. We've taken out the breakout. I was looking for a rally back to it. Now we're above it. Do you think USD-CAD will suffer as well if the yen comes off?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this 125 level, I think, is key. As you see yourself, it's February, March. It's been around the pivot support. So I do believe that, if the dollar really, turns in lower here, the dollar CAD will be sold on that, just as all other commodity currencies.
Okay, yeah. And on the fundamental front, all this talk about the Greek exit, etc. What are you hearing in Europe as far as the developments there? And could it possibly be that a Greek exit sets up a buying opportunity in euro, kind of like sell the rumor, buy the fact? Maybe that's a catalyst that puts in the higher low. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that could actually be a catalyst. What I've always been saying about the Greece, what matters most now is not whether or not they default. What matters most is this uncertainty, and that has been the key drag for the market sentiment around the euro and European assets. So once the uncertainty is resolved by any means, either it's default or some kind of agreement, that will be good for markets, and that will be good for euro. Okay. So I think that that kind of resolution, or the news we're getting right now, that the creditors are about to draft an agreement or to reveal the agreement, then it does suggest to me that we are very close to that solution, or the reduction in uncertainty, which we have had for quite some time.
What do you think we're going to get? You think we're going to have an agreement where they're included and that takes some of the pressure off the euro, or do they default? A lot of people say
I think that without default. I think we will avoid default this time around. I think they will extend. They will, they introduce the structural reforms, and Greece will agree to those, and they will extend the terms and improve the terms for Greece. But, effectively, we all know that Greece is in default. So, right. In my eyes, the Brexit or, the default, if it happens, it will be just a technical matter, which the markets shouldn't react negatively to, I think.
Okay, that definitely, are we like days away from something like this finally manifesting?
Yeah, I think we are talking about a days, week maybe.
Okay. Do you keep an eye on any of the geo hotspots in the world? Things are heating up between China and the U.S. Over the South Sea Islands that China's building and spy planes flying over it. Do you have any concerns about possible accident and a conflict developing in the South China Sea?
Well, yes, I'm aware of those happenings, but I don't think it is an immediate concern, to be honest. And it's very difficult to see implications for the markets. And I think, if anything, if it is something that is big enough to spur risk off environment, or to increase volatility in the markets, and of course the dollar will benefit, if anything.
Okay, now there's also a story floating around FX, and I actually saw some type of headline from the IMF about China no longer being an undervalued currency. And in October, every 10 years, the IMF reviews reserve currency status. A lot of talk going around that the yuan is going to be included in the basket. I've talked to people over the last couple of years in LAR that say that there's no way China's going to replace the dollar, and that may be true about replacing it, but do you think that there could be implications on the IMF including it in a basket of currencies, maybe an SDR or something like that?
Yeah, I believe that could happen, and I think, again, it's the change in, the currency status is a process. It's a long process, and it starts slowly, and so of course, China will not replace the dollar, very soon. But we all know that, with the situation U.S. is in right now, with the debt toward the rest of the world,
right.
and China being creditor, obviously I think that, in the longer run, China has power, and it's also a growing economy. It's an economy which is going to overtake U.S. by all standards. So I think but it will take time. It will take a few
Do you
decades.
think that one of the signals was all of Western Europe going to join the new bank that China has started? Even Great Britain went along with it, although the U.S. was lobbying them because this will be competition for the World Bank, which is a U.S.-sponsored entity.
Yeah, that's a very good point. The world order which was established after the Second World War was the U.S. world order.
Right.
And now that U.S. has kind of, has become indebted toward the rest of the world, to such a great extent, I think, the power will eventually, maybe will shift to Asia, and Europe probably will give some support to Asia too.
Anything else you'd like to wrap it up with, and how people could follow your work or get your commentary daily?
I'm on Twitter, and I write Sunday comments, weekly comments, week ahead. I monitor foreign exchange, but I also look very much at interest rates and at commodity prices, etc. So I have this global macro, big picture view or understanding consistency between the assets.
Okay, and I want to really thank you for your time. I know it was short, but it's the quality, not the quantity. And what I'm reading for you is you have a dollar bearish slant, that there could be a great buying opportunity setting up in euro, and all the USD, Japanese yen bulls need to be careful up here because this could be a bull trap. Am I reading you correctly?
Yeah, that's kind of a summary of what I have said.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, Aurelija. I appreciate.
Thank you again for having me, and have a nice day ahead.
Okay, let's get back together soon in another couple months, okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.